How will you support and advocate for members of the LGBTQ community in your riding?
Well, as a part of the LGBT community myself, I will advocate very strongly for them. You know, supporting them with mental health is really important, and making sure that we make sure that trans rights are approved and move forward, and making sure that we continue to ban the conversion therapy, the bill that was passed and that was voted down by the Conservative Party and other parties in the House. So hopefully moving forward we can get that ban.
Thank you, Jason. John, you are up. How will you support and advocate for members of the LGBTQ community in your riding?
Personally with my sister who is a lesbian and married, it was a little bit of a shock when we first found out. But I have come to understand it and support her. And I support anyone who is LGBT, support the rights of the people, and support the rights and the programs to help them help. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, John. Merle, how will you support and advocate for members of the LGBTQ community in your riding?
First of all, I don't think I have to advocate and support for them. There was a time when that was a big issue. I don't think that's a big issue anymore. I don't see a whole lot of things in our society that are working against people in that community. I do take issue with treating small children and sex change operations and things like that, changing 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and giving them hormones to affect their sexuality and their development as male or female. I think that's terribly wrong. I think that's a violation of our children, and I don't think we should be going there. I think let people live their lives, but let's not mess up the children. I don't think there's any justification for that.
Thanks, Merle. Richard, how will you support and advocate for members of the LGBTQ community in your riding?
Thanks, Vicki. So I believe that all people, regardless of ethnicity, skin color, religion, or sexual orientation, are capable of greatness. I think it's time for leaders to show some leadership and stand up for people's rights. It's time for us to respect each other's right to be here, and I don't know any other way. Thanks.
Thanks, Richard. John, you're last for this question. How will you support and advocate for members of the LGBT community in your riding?
Thank you for the question. So like all communities in this large riding, my door is always open. In fact, I recently reached out to the Pride organization in Charlotte County to deepen the dialogue, to hear their concerns. Now, Jason just made it sound like the bill died, but in fact, the C6 bill that he talked about passed the House of Commons. And while there's been some criticism of some Conservatives' vote on this bill, in fact, it was the Liberal leader who killed this bill when he called this election. That bill was set to become law by Thanksgiving. Because we're having this election, the community that supports that bill should be deeply disappointed in the decision of Justin Trudeau to call an election, kill that bill, because by calling an election, that bill has to start over again. It will take years to pass again.